Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday, June 22nd. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. I'm Sophia Pullman. Let's get right into the news today. A deep-sea robot from France has joined the effort to find the submersible that went missing on Sunday while exploring the wreckage of the Titanic. It comes at a critical time in the search, which has now passed the 96-hour mark when breathable air could have run out. Roxana Saberi reports from Boston.
We're searching where the noises are, and that's all we can do at this point.
After 2 days of detecting noises underwater, the Coast Guard said Wednesday there's still hope for the 5 people on board OceanGate's missing submersible.
This is a search and rescue mission, 100%.
But both time and oxygen are running out.
In any search and rescue case, you look at all the different factors. How long we've been searching, what the survivability is, the oxygen on board. There is more than just one piece, and right now we're focusing on the search.
More rescue vessels are joining the effort. But searching for the small Titan in the near-freezing and pitch-black conditions on the ocean floor is challenging.
If I were a family member, I would remain hopeful, but people generally do not come back from the bottom of the ocean.
OceanGate has faced criticism for years.
This company decided to self-certify.
Engineer Bart Kemper was part of a marine technology group that expressed concerns in 2018.
It follows no code and follows no jurisdiction.
Kemper said the company agreed to be more transparent with passengers, but continued to operate as an experimental vessel without what the group said is typical certification.
How rare is it for something like this to happen?
We have not lost a non-military submersible before. We've had failures, we've had fatalities, but we've never had this type of incident happen before.
More search vehicles have been joining the effort, including a French deep diving robot that could help release a trapped vessel. But even if teams do find and free the Titan before time runs out, it would still be a challenge to bring it to the surface. Roxana Saberi, CBS News, Boston.
The 5 people on board include a British billionaire, a Pakistani businessman, and his 19-year-old son, a Titanic expert, and the CEO of OceanGate.
Well, we're off to a beautiful start here this afternoon. Lots of sunshine, but it is heating up outside, that's for sure. We'll get to those temperatures here in a second. But I do want to show you this latest air quality information that just came in here about an hour ago. And we are still under this advisory for Wisconsin until 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Now, this goes into effect until 9 p.m. for tomorrow night for portions of southeast Minnesota as well. So if you fall under the sensitive group category, remember to limit yourself outside. Try to spend more time indoors. If you got to be out there, make sure to take those frequent breaks. In the meantime, here's a check on those current temperatures, and we're into the 80s. We're seeing the mid to upper 80s this afternoon so far. We got 88 in La Crosse, 84 in Eau Claire, 87 degrees currently down in Sparta, and Bosquebel currently reporting 88 degrees. Satellite radar picture very clear here this afternoon, looking at mostly clear skies, and that trend is going to continue throughout the rest of the afternoon. We're going to be turning mostly sunny with temperatures warming up into the low 90s here between around 3 to 5 p.m. and also light wind speeds at around 5 miles an hour or so to work with as well. Stay tuned. I'm going to have a check on that weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. We'll talk more about how long this hot and dry pattern will last. Plus, we do have some rain chances this weekend. I'll explain that coming up as well. Sophia?
The doors are closed and summer school classes are canceled at Central High School for now after a fire. Crews were called to the school around 4:30 in the afternoon for a fire in an HVAC system. La Crosse fire officials say there were a few hundred people in the building, but all evacuated safely. The battalion chief says the biggest challenge was finding the source of the smoke.
Just to find the fire was an issue. It's not just a small house. It's actually, it's obviously a school. So getting resources in, trying to find where this haze is coming from. When they finally located it is when they found the heat and the heavy smoke.
The cause of the fire remains under investigation, and officials will be doing safety inspections. A man accused of opening fire in downtown La Crosse last Saturday made his initial court appearance via Zoom. DeAndrew Grant faces 27 felony charges. According to the criminal complaint, around 1:47 in the morning. Grant was outside of a lacrosse bar talking to several people. Investigators say cameras downtown show Grant getting into a fight with one other person outside Press Break. Shortly after, police say Grant's car drove down 3rd Street in the wrong direction. Police say the driver was using his left hand to drive the vehicle while his right hand fired a handgun out of the driver's window towards Politos. At least 7 victims were shot.
Counts 1 through 6 are all separate charges of attempted first-degree intentional homicide with use of a weapon.
Along with attempted homicide charges, Grant is charged with substantial battery, first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and possession of a firearm by a felon. Grant is being held in La Crosse County Jail on a $1 million cash bond. Grant will be back in court next Wednesday. La Crosse County authorities are waiting for DNA test results after human remains were found in the Mississippi River on Tuesday. According to the sheriff's office, the remains belonged to a man. Parts of the body were calcified and clothing was disintegrated, leading authorities to believe the body was in the river for a long period of time. The remains are at Mayo Clinic in Rochester undergoing tests. Authorities say a distinctive piece of jewelry was found with the body but did not give a description. The La Crosse Center Board is recommending the city continue to manage the La Crosse Center. Board members made the recommendation at their latest meeting this week. Longtime coordinator Art Fay's retirement motivated the board to search for a private management company to potentially run the venue. After a long study, the board's president said privatizing just doesn't make sense at this time. The leadership structure is still being worked out. Some of the projects the board also oversee are Pearl Street Walkway, which is slated to be finished in September. Faculty and students at Luther High School are getting an upgrade thanks to a generous donation from the Ronald and Joyce Wanick Foundation. The new state-of-the-art center, the Advanced Manufacturing Learning, will provide equipment and career development opportunities for students. Today, the high school held a groundbreaking event for the new center. Leaders of the project say this investment will benefit everyone in the community.
Advanced manufacturing is important because it creates wealth for an area. It brings money to an area. And that's what it's all about, a positive balance of trade. And that's going to be very important for this area.
With the addition of the new center, school leaders said this will finally allow students to explore new opportunities within trade industry.
Right now, this is the biggest missing puzzle piece we had, and now we have it. So for us as a school, now when a family or a student looks at Luther, there's no aspect of their academic career that we can't help them with, especially with the quality education we already have.
Students will be able to learn about trades such as advanced robotics, welding, and an advanced woods program. Construction on the center is expected to be completed by January of 2024. Coming up after the break, the newest scientific breakthrough that could alter the way you eat. Your consumer news is next. Stay with us. Stocks dropped Wednesday, the same day Federal Reserve Chairman Jeremy Powell told lawmakers that the fight against inflation has a long way to go and that more interest rate hikes would be needed. The Dow fell 102 points, the Nasdaq plunged 165 points, and the S&P 500 dropped 23 points. CBS News' Chanel Call has the latest business news headlines from New York.
Amazon is accused of tricking millions of people into paying for Amazon Prime. The Federal Trade Commission is suing the world's largest online retailer. It says Amazon knowingly duped customers into signing up for and renewing its $139 a year Prime service and then made them jump through hoops to cancel. Amazon says the FTC's claims are false. Lab-grown meat could be served on a menu near you soon. The Agriculture Department just approved 2 California companies to sell chicken grown in steel tanks using cells that come from an animal, egg, or a special bank of stored cells. This cell-cultivated chicken will first be available at a restaurant in San Francisco and another one in Washington, D.C., owned by famed chef Jose Andres, before hitting stores. And Nintendo has announced that its beloved Super Mario Bros. Game is getting a remake. It'll feature new graphics and power-ups for main characters. The updated game comes to Nintendo Switch this fall. It follows the release of one of the year's biggest films, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which has grossed over $1 billion worldwide. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
That's it for your afternoon consumer news. As we head to break, here is a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is next. A small electrical zap to the brain could help stroke victims. And a promising study shows how certain foods may be particularly helpful for those suffering from ALS. Michael George has a look at some of the day's top health stories.
Certain foods high in omega-3 fatty acids may have success slowing the progression of ALS, according to a study published in the journal Neurology. The research shows an association with people who eat foods like walnuts, canola oil, and pumpkin seeds, and a slower physical decline from the disease. Researchers believe omega-6 fatty acids may be beneficial as well. Some cells in older men lose their Y chromosome, and that absence hurts the body's ability to fight cancer. Investigators with Cedars-Sinai Cancer found it can lead to aggressive bladder cancer. But on the flip side, it somehow also makes the disease more vulnerable and easier to treat. Researchers are now developing a new test for the loss of the Y chromosome, which could then lead to more targeted treatment. A small zap to the brain may be helpful to people suffering from a mini stroke. Researchers at UCLA Health direct highly targeted electrical stimulation to the area of the brain that has low blood flow or is suffering from the stroke. They found 2/3 of the threatened brain tissue was rescued in the 24 hours after treatment. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
That's it for our medical news today. Here is a look at CityCam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
Well, air quality alerts remain in effect here for portions of the area. This is in effect until 11 p.m. here for tomorrow night for Wisconsin. Now, if you're in southeastern Minnesota, you are under this advisory until 9 p.m. on Friday. So it's been extended here a little bit here for you. Portions of the Chippewa Valley, though, including Eau Claire County, have been exited out of this air quality alerts. But the rest of us, as you can see, are still under this advisory, including La Crosse County. Meanwhile, in La Crosse, we're seeing 88 degrees with sunshine. Westerly winds are currently light at 7 miles an hour. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, we're at 84 degrees with sunshine here. South-southwest winds light at around 8 miles an hour. Visibility levels looking good at 10 miles, and current temperatures stand into those mid to upper 80s. We're seeing 84 to the west in Winona, 86 Black River Falls, 87 in Sparta. Temperatures in Basketball currently at 88 degrees, and our forecast highs today are expected to keep on rising up into the upper 80s to the low 90s in some spots here this afternoon as well. As we take a look at your planner, we'll be at 91 degrees under mostly sunny skies at 3 o'clock, followed by 9 degrees and very sunny by 5 p.m. And then by early this evening at 7 o'clock, 87 degrees with clear skies overhead. Our satellite and radar picture is off to a very quiet start here this afternoon, and it's going to continue to remain this way as long as high pressure is involved in our weather pattern to keep us quiet. Maybe just a few passing clouds. A slight chance of a shower or two is possible. I think for the most part, conditions will continue to remain dry, and this pattern will continue as we head into tonight. Slight chance of a shower near the Chippewa Valley, but other than that, conditions still very quiet as we head into tomorrow afternoon with just a couple of clouds here and there. We're watching this next system, though, back to the west. That could bring us a chance of scattered showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms starting tomorrow night and also into early Saturday. I am watching that system carefully because what's going to happen is after we get through this upper level ridging here that's been responsible for the past several days, as a matter of fact, giving us this very dry and hot air, we are expected to see some breaks in this ridge here as we head into this weekend. You'll see it here. Here comes that low. That's going to be bringing us the rain chances this weekend. That's going to help break down the ridge here just a little bit, give us a little bit of a break. And then behind it, we are expected to see our temperatures cool down as we head into next week. We're going to go from the 90s here these next few days, and then we drop down into the 80s for our highs as we head into next week with a mix of clouds and sunshine and low temperatures mainly into the 60s. But I am keeping our eyes on here this weekend for that chance of rain. After all, we do need it. That's for sure still.
We need the rain. Friday, 94.
Yeah, that's a toasty one.
Yeah, either you're going to be at the river or inside.
Yeah, exactly. Pick which one.
Thanks, Derek.
All right.
Still ahead, the latest house to hit the market may also be the most expensive one you can buy at the moment. We have the details after the break.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
$250 million for a house. That's the asking price for a Georgian classical mansion called Casa Encantada in the famed Los Angeles community of Bel Air. The price tag makes it the most expensive home for sale in America, but this is no ordinary home. The 60-room, 40,000 square foot estate built in the 1930s sits on 8.5 acres adjacent to the Tony Bel Air Country Club. It also boasts 18-foot ceilings, a huge dining room, card room, a pool bar, a screening room, lighted tennis and basketball courts, a rose garden, tons of trees, lush landscaping, and a greenhouse. Stay with us. We'll have one more check of your forecast when we return.
Last check on your 8-day forecast. Going to be another hot day tomorrow, a high of 94, so a little hotter than today. Get ready for that one. And then as we head into this weekend, still pretty hot on Saturday. A chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the weekend as well. And as we take you into next week, it will be a little on the drier side. We may see another chance of storms by Thursday. But the more important story for next week is that our temperatures will be much cooler as highs will drop into the low to mid 80s, which is a little bit more seasonable for this time of year. And our low temperatures will be into the 60s.
I walked outside this morning at like 8 and the neighbor kids were already in the pool.
Oh, yeah.
It's already so hot out.
Yep.
Thanks, Derek. And thank you for watching News 8.